So this first poem I'm going to read, as you surely can tell already, is called Regret, which I think is hilarious because of all the things in regards to this book and all the decisions I made, one of the things that I wish I could make or do over is the title of this poem. Which of course is totally appropriate, but still, like every time I read it, I'm like, regret. I was like, down. But alas, it gives me the opportunity to tell that joke. But yeah, so here we go. Regret. To call a fire alive, to call a ghost awake, to call a ghost asleep, or to call it on the phone, pressing redial 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 21 times, and always being sent to voicemail. It's your first love again, and it lives. At what point does the fire die? Does the ghost pick up the phone and whisper, I knew you'd keep calling until I answered, so now I've answered. What is it you have to say to me? What I have to say to you. We are bound to this earth, and no matter how we try to leave, we still are bound. No rocket ship spiraling into the thin openness of time changes that. No bootstrap shenanigans hightailing their rubber-peeling path into history where the future rests on an old desk like an apple. One apple who is just that. Core, seeds, stem, meat, skin. In many ways, the apple is us, causing the fall of us from the ideal and into this. Day, night, awake, asleep, dead, alive, 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 alive. Okay, so this next poem that I'm going to read is the shortest poem in the book, which of course means that it demands a very lengthy explanation. But I remember when I was younger, being confronted with the idea of heaven and being told that it's a place of, fabulous gold streets and endless chocolate and, total contentment and peace and toy cars and all these other great things. But then I also remember being told that it was a place where you couldn't bring your dog, you couldn't bring your family with you unless they earned their own ticket. And that always sort of bothered me. It bothers me even more now because I have a 3-year-old. So the idea of a heaven in which, even if I were to go to such a place, he would still be on his own seems somewhat horrifying to me. So the poem on page 39 is about that. It's called No Children. If heaven is so blissfully lonely, let me have none of it. Page 73. Connection. The seawater sloshes relentlessly against the green pier, calling God under its breath. God, God, God. And nothing changes. I have a feeling if I moved even a bit of it, if I could move, it would be like the loose thread on an old Argyle sweater, which, pulled, sends the sweater spiraling into non-existence. And the next page. I figure I'll go ahead and read the title track. Because all concerts have to feature, the hit song or whatever. Everybody will get pissed off and say, play the old ones. It gets ugly. So the whole entire idea of Punchline is built around the concept that we're kind of the joke. In a sense that there's something really sort of absurdly comic about the fact that, we are these human beings like in a structure built by human beings featuring artifacts, which is insane, and then we're in a city which is part of a state, like this political structure that is on this giant ball of dirt, like rocketing around a ball of fire at some obscene speed in some backwoods neck of the woods of the universe, which might not be the only universe. Okay? That's insane. Okay, I think that that's kind of funny, and we get to sort of take part in the sort of the cosmic joke of our own awesome existences and how fortunate we are to be a part of it. And even though there's so much uncertainty and so much craziness and doubt and depression, unhappiness and terrible things in the world, there's still so much to be thankful for. And I think that at any given moment, just looking around, that's really all the proof we need for the beauty of the universe. So here's the poem, Punchline. The proof now is the proof then, in the ringtones of college students, the darning needles of grandmothers, and the lawnmowers and skillets of everyone in between. It's in the paws of otters and the bisected hooves of elk, in the fantastic strength of lizards and giant brains of sea mammals, in the determination of sharks and the sleekness of their movements, so decisive, and the perfection of a bird's chest feathers up close, and when they seem a whole effortless mile above the canyon. It's in the intensity of even the smallest stones and the wizened immensity of 2,000-year-old trees who, you wonder, are their tops above the clouds? It's in the soil and the fires, inhale and exhale, in the wait for the subway who rockets us from one life to the next, and our impatience, sullenness, joy, and pride, in the suffering of the faithless and guilty who ride out the minutes alone, in the cockroach that is legion over eternity, and in the certainty of the pious who cradle a child from within the fury of happiness. It's in their tears. And it's in the punchline that is all our being and all our seeking. These are the road signs of proof, the victory of one definition over others, the abstract absurdity of living here, wherever this is, and why. Thank you.